Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the second part of transition. Last week I discussed the first part, which was more of when to start doing transition planning for your child if they have an IEP, which it will be 14 if you're in the state of Pennsylvania. And I said this week I was going to say for when you're close to that. For when your child is close to that time where they're graduating, get ready to graduate, and all that. Because I just felt like it was too much information from one Instagram live. So I'm going to talk about the second part. So with this part two of transition, I'm going to talk about after your child graduates from high school with an IEP. Now, I highly recommend that you seek help from your child's guidance counselor, school counselor, because they will be able to connect you with agencies outside of the school and even some agencies that have partnerships with the school. And I would highly recommend that you do this the year before they graduate. Don't wait till the year that they're getting ready to graduate to start researching and figuring out what your child wants to do. I would really start focusing the year prior to when they're going to graduate. So if they're on a regular track, I would really start looking, even 10th grade, you can start as early as 10th grade or as early as you would like, but I would highly recommend you start the year before they graduate, so like 11th grade. Students with intellectual disabilities, they can stay in the district until they're 21, so I would look into programs, again, a year prior to when they're getting ready to graduate, okay? Now, either your child is on the track to work, have competitive employment, meaning work and get paid for it, or your child is perhaps on the track where they can go to a school or something like that. So I'm going to talk with the work track first, and then I'll focus on if your child is like a college-bound kid or something like that. All right, so if you're in Montgomery County, it's beneficial that you get connected with the Office of Developmental Disabilities, and if you're in Philadelphia, be connected with the Department of Human Services, their Office of Developmental Programs, okay? So Philadelphia, DHS, Department of Human Services, their Office of Developmental Programs, and for Montgomery County, the Office of Developmental Disabilities. They will be able to give you a lot of resources and a lot of information on what to do with your child or what support you need for your child. There are a lot of different work programs out there. Again, your school counselor can connect you with this information, and if you can't get any help from your school counselor, I would go directly to the district office. I know in Philly it's called the Specialized Services. That's where a lot of their special education, all of their supports for special education students fall under. So definitely get support. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. I'll surely slow down for you. Definitely get in contact with with your child's counselors, because they'll be able to connect you with agencies or programs that your child can benefit from. And I said, if you're in Montgomery County, do get connected with the Office of Developmental Disabilities. And if you are in Philadelphia, get connected with Department of Human Resources, their Office of Developmental Programs, because these two agencies, they have a ton of resources that you and your child could benefit from for their post-academics. So for working after high school, after they graduate high school. Also, you need to see, will your child need supportive employment, or can they do a job by themselves? Also, you may want to look into, before your child graduates, making sure their transition plan is supporting the things that they want to be involved in. So it could be vocational type skills that you want your child to learn. So before they graduate, make sure their transition plan is getting them a taste of those particular skills. So when they do graduate and get out, they can utilize those skills. Okay, so I know, for example, PATH. My sister has an intellectual disability, and she does PATH work program, and she does get paid, but she's not by herself at a work site. She is at a site where there are adults there to assist her if she needs it, and she has particular jobs that she has to do. And this is what she does. She leaves in the morning, and then she comes back in the afternoon. Now she takes paratransit. She doesn't travel. She's unable to travel independently in the community, so we need paratransit for her, and that's something you also need to look into. Will your child need transportation, or is your child able to travel independently in the community? And that's something that school counselors can help you get, and also the agencies I just mentioned, they'll have information like that to help connect your child with transportation services or programs that teach your child how to utilize transportation, if your child is able to do that. Because again, you have to be realistic and say, what is my child capable of doing, and what are they not capable of doing? What will they need support with? Okay, so there's a lot of different resources and programs out there, especially if your child is going down the employment track and not the school track. Now, for example, let's say your child, you want your child can go down the school track, so college, university, 2-year college, 4-year college. Now, no university can discriminate against you if your child does have a disability. However, they still have to follow the laws under the 504, for those who, meaning that you can't discriminate against someone who has a disability. So the school can accommodate your child. However, you have to, you would have to speak up, and if you do want academic accommodations for your child, your child would have to speak up, in the beginning, and say, I do have a disability, have documentation to support that they do have a disability, and request accommodations. Now, it is not going to be like it was. The support is not going to be the same as it was when your child was in the school was in a school district. Is two particularly different entities, because when your child's in a school district, you can say, oh, I want my child to have tests. Oh, I don't want them to have all these tests in one day, and I want these types of questions, and oh, his assignment really needs to be accommodated. You can really take out a lot, and really, you can really take out a lot of the pertinent things that your child should be doing in a school district. Like, you can really limit all the tests, the content, and everything. Whereas in a college, you're still going to get that strenuous content. However, they may supply your child with someone who could take notes for them, or recorders, or if your child needs an interpreter or someone to do sign language, they can do things like that. If your child has some physical impairments and they're staying on campus, they have the right to have a dorm room that's accessible for them, but again, you're going to pay for that. It is a college, it's not free. I remember when I was an undergrad at Widener, one of my peers, she was wheelchair bound, but her room was in my dorm, and her room was on the first floor. And her room was set up completely different from, one of the regular dorms. And she had someone with her, like when she went to lunch, to get her lunch for her. And she did have people who would, write down the notes for her and all that, because she was competent and she could speak and all that. But she had physical impairments, a physical disability that kept her from writing on her own and things like that. So it's very different when parents want their child to go to college who has a disability. It is not like the services are not like they were when your child was in a school district. You got to understand, it is a college university, so they have certain standards, and basically they're prepping adults to have careers in the world. So your child's still going to have that content, that strenuous content that they must know. So they're still gonna, have all that. So, and they're still gonna be responsible for that. So, it's not like, oh, your child's gonna get less work and all that. No, they're still gonna get work, but they will give them accommodations to help them access it. access the work, access the notes. They will accommodate you in that manner, but it doesn't mean that they're going to cut back on the content or cut back on the amount of papers that your child has to do. And that's something that you have to really sit down with your child to see, is this something that my child can do? But every college, university does have support services for anyone that needs them. You have to request them, because they're not going to come to you. You have to request them. And also, there are some colleges and universities that have programs for individuals that have learning disabilities or ADHD. There's some colleges, I came across this article that had the top 20 list of colleges and universities for someone that has a disability. And if you're interested and you want to see that, I can email you that link so that you can see all the schools here in Philadelphia. Drexel was one of the schools. They have a program, I believe, for autistic students to help them with self-advocacy and other social skills to help them navigate their college experience. Now, I know in some of the programs, their caseload is not as large as a student who's going that doesn't have a disability, because majority of the time they want you to take like four classes is a full caseload. That's about 12 credits, so you could be taking any more between 12 and 15, or so 4 to 5 classes. They have these colleges that have programs for individuals with disabilities. They do have tutors for these kids. They have small class sizes for these particular students. And then even their workload, they really help the students manage their workload. And as far as registering for classes, their workload is not as big as someone else, because I believe they're not taking as many courses at one particular time. So that way it's not overwhelming for them, and it's something that they can manage. If you would like information, if you would like that list, feel free to email me or DM me at Because of Her. You can email me at Jamillah, Jam as in Mary, ILAH, at becauseofher.info, and I can send you that, or even you can send me a message from my Facebook group. I can send you that information as well. But there are a lot of resources out there. You should really utilize the people in the school to support you. And if you're not getting any help from the school, go through the district. And if you're not getting help from the district, then yes, I would highly recommend that you seek someone who legal representation to help you with that, because there are a lot of resources out there, and no one can deny your child employment or schooling because of their disability. No one can do that. But again, if you're in Montgomery County, connect yourself with the Office of Developmental Disabilities. And if you're in Philadelphia, connect yourself with Department of Human Services, DHS, their Office of Developmental Programs. There are a lot of resources there. If you're in Montgomery County, utilize your Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. If you're in Delaware County, utilize the Delaware County Intermediate Unit. They have a lot of resources and a lot of support there as well, to help you. And again, utilize your child's guidance counselor. They can really, really help you, connect you with various programs in the area that you live, and even some other services that your child that is available to your child. And also, don't wait till the year your child is graduating to research all this information and seek these services. Start the year prior, or even 2 years prior, so that you can equip yourself with the information and things, so that way you know what you need to do when it's time, when your child's getting ready to graduate, what it is you have to do. If you have any questions about anything that I discussed in this video, feel free to email me at Jamillah at becauseofher.info. You can send me a DM here at Because of Her. You can send me a Facebook message on my page, Because of Her. If you want me to send you the link for the Office of Developmental Disabilities, I can send you that as well. If you want me to send you the link for the DHS link for Office of Developmental Programs, I can send you that as well. So feel free to contact me. And I am back at work. My school year starts on Monday, so If I don't get back to you within 24 hours, give me at least 48 hours to get back to you. I do check my email every single day. So, be patient with me. I do check my emails every day, and I get back to people as quickly as I can. So, again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, send me a DM or a Facebook message. And I hope this information was helpful. If you have any other topics that you would like for me to discuss, feel free to send me a message or email me. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. You have a great day.